ঠাকুর ওইখানেই শুদ্ধ ভক্তি ভক্তের লক্ষণ দেখতে পাচ্ছে। যদিও ভক্তিযোগ একটা রয়েছে, আলাদা ভক্তিযোগ বলে আলাদা চারটা রয়েছে।
So what would be the difference, Maharaj, between Bhakti Yoga and Buddhi Yoga according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur?
Buddhi Yoga, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Buddhi Yoga is more spacious and accommodating. This aprakito, it will suit mostly for aprakito lila. More accommodating, more nearer to Krishna consciousness. Buddhi Yoga. Bhakti Yoga just above Jnana Yoga, what is described in 12th canto, 12th Adhyaya. But Buddhi Yoga is more precious. Externally, he may deal with anything and everything, but that has no influence on him. Buddhi Yoga. But in Bhakti Yoga, in the other Adhyaya, we find that some sort of restriction, control is applied there. Uniketa sthiromati, asuk dukkha samana, all these things are all right. But any external connection with the which may be considered to be rejectable, even in the highest position of a devotee, that can also be harmonized, everything. Doing anything he may not do. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Buddhi Yoga. Ekaiva Kuru Nandana. Whatever he is asked to done by his master, he is ready to do that, without any consideration of good or bad. Buddhi Yoga.
Maharaj, this Maharam Broto Brahmachari, he was once interpreting, he was once giving a lecture and interpreting that to follow the instruction of the Guru.
He is a nasty man.
He's a nasty man, yes.
He came from the source of Jagabandhu. When he went to America for doctorate, I was in charge of Bombay Mart at that time. I knew him. Then he came back. I saw his doctorate. There are also defect in his writing in the name of Jiva Goswami. What he has written, there is error. Again, the acme, when he told that Mahajano Jeno Gatasva Sapantha, I heard from one of my god brother, Dr. Shamlal. So he attended one of his lectures, perhaps in Berhampur or somewhere. And he told, and I might have seen in the paper also, in explaining Mahajano Jeno Gata Sapantha, He says Mahajan, Gandhi is a Mahajan, Rabindranath is a Mahajan. Hearing that, I had rejected him and cast him in the dustbin.
That is your Kripa, Maharaj. At least he has a place in your dustbin.
অতি স্তুতি হয় এই নিন্দার রক্ষ। And another thing I found in his writing, he was very eager to find out the name of Sri Chaitanya Dev in the writing of Rabindranath. And anyhow, he mentioned a place where Rabindranath is saying to some persons that you are too much of the Varnashram fashionism, but Chaitanya also did not care for your formality. He, with very eagerness, tried to test that Rabindranath also took the name of Chaitanya. But Rabindranath took it in that hateful way. Even Chaitanya did not care for your formality. Not Sri Chaitanya, Chaitanya. Chaitanya also did not care for the formalities of Varnashram. What of mine? I don't care for you. And he was so much proud that Chaitanya is mentioned in the, came from the lips of Rabindranath, that fellow. I was told that he can deliver lecture very fluently, very impressive way. That I have heard. Long ago when I went to Jalpaiguri for preaching, the general educated public told that what you have preached here about Gaudiya Math, hitherto such কি বলেছিল হাই ক্যালিবারের প্রচার এরকমভাবে আর হয়নি। But Mahanambada, he came and in the name of Chaitanya he delivered several lectures and the people was impressed. But Mahanambada became fluent style of his lecture, but nothing within. That Gandhi is a Mahajan, Rabindranath is a Mahajan in the line of Mahajan. Tavatcha shubhati murkho javat kinchit no bhasati. So long a fool has may cut a good figure, as long as he does not open his lips. So opening his lips to the scholar section, that is a difficult thing. Hare Krishna.
ভাই অতিস্তুতি হয় নিন্দার লক্ষণ, ওইটার ইংরেজি বলেন নি তো?
অনেকবার বলেছি আমি।
বলেছেন?
দেখুন কাজকর্ম দেখুন এখানে বসে He also smokes, Maharaj. This Mahanamrata, after giving his lecture, as soon as he goes inside, he's puffing to get back his inspiration.
And they were smoking near tobacco or ganjika. That will be more stimulating.
So one of our god brothers, he was visiting him before. So he asked him, he said, how do I see that you're smoking? He said, no, this is for private amongst you, but for public, I am against smoking.
Okay.
Such a bogus character.
Yeah. a hypocrite. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Gaur Hari Gaur. Pro. Pro. Hare Krishna. Pro.
Maharaj,
Yes.
in Durgapur, there was one gentleman who was arguing from this Kali Santanan Upanishad. And from there he was quoting one verse where I think Lord Brahma, he is stating the Maha Mantra with Hari Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari first, and Hare Krishna afterwards.
Yes.
So he said, how do you adjust this in your philosophy?
What did you say?
I told him that in the Ananta Samhita and Garuda Puran and one other Puran that the Hare Krishna mantra is given as we chant it. And that Brahma, he is Haridas Thakur, the Namacharya. So we follow his example.
Kadishantan Upanishad, it isn't such. Agni Puran and Brahmanda Puran, half. But they say that this is because it comes from Upanishad, so this Vedic mantra. And ordinary people may not have any entrance to Vedic mantra. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has just readjusted this mantra, and the Vedic mantra, the concern is cancelled thereby, and he gave it all. That is a section of people in the UP side who love Sri Chaitanya Dev. They like to give their opinion like this. But ours says that where it is mentioned Harirama first, then that is superficial. Concerning Rama Avatara, that took place first, and the Krishna Avatara, that afterwards that occurred. So first Ram, Hare Rama and Hare Krishna. But our deeper meaning is that in Danda, when similar two things are connected together, not the historical precedence, but the consideration of the highly developed conception. So Krishna Nam is higher than that of Rama Nama. It is mentioned in Puran, Sahasra Nama Vistulam Rama Nama Varaname. Then 3 Rama Nama is equal to Krishna Nama. In this way, it has been mentioned in Puran. So Krishna Nam is more superior to Rama Nama. So in Danda Samas, where they are connected together, the trace is given to the superiority. So Krishna Nam is to come first. This is one point. The another point is that everything is moving in a cyclic order, which is first, which is next, that cannot be ascertained in the eternal cycle. Either Krishna is before or Ram is before. That is, so from that consideration also, Krishna, if we take Krishna Nam, that is not relating to posterity, but in the eternal cycle, any place we may begin. Then another higher thing of our Sampradayik secret is this, that our deeper meaning is not concerned with Ramulila. Even the name Ram, there we find Radha Raman Ram. We wholesale in Krishna consciousness, not Rama consciousness of Godhead. So, Mahaprabhu's highest conception of things, the Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Leela, it is connected with that. So the Krishna, the Ram, not historical avatar in the predecessor of Krishna, but we are concerned with independent of Kalo, only in Vrindavan Leela, Swayam Bhagavan Leela of Krishna. That is the real purpose of Mahaprabhu, for which it is not mentioning of Ramulila of Agidha at all, no connection. Mukta Pragraha, Subal Sakara, do you follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
There was also another thing which came up, we were discussing, and that was Gautam Rishi and his wife Hotili.
Navai Vidhi Vishayo Napi Deva, Kuto Manushya. But Mahaprabhu gave the internal meaning. The Rishi cannot stand there, no Rishi. Navai Rishi Munayo, কি আছে? Navai Vidhi Vishayo Napi Deva, Kuto Manushya. No mention, human scholarship to trespass into the realm. Even the Rishi do not know.
They say
They have dealt superficial theism. Superficial theism has been given by the Rishi. Nasavashis Joshamatamana Bhindam. What are the Rishi? Some substantial, some ground preparation of the ground of theism. That is supplied by the Rishi in general. Vasu Vetti no Vetti va. The development of the theism. Charvaki is also Rishi. Rishi means research scholar, who has given a new doctor. Rishi means doctor, who has given some original opinion into the society. He is Rishi. Brahmarshi, Devarshi, Rajarshi, and there are so many Rishi, section of Rishi. Atri Vasishtaschavanu Saradvam, Varishta Nemi Bhigurangiraja, Parasaru Gadhi Sututharama, Daipayanu Bhagavan Naradasya. They are all students, and with profound silence they are hearing what novel thing is coming from the mouth of this boy. The stuck dumb, the rishis. When Sukadeva began to deliver his lecture of Bhagavatam, they are all stuck dumb, the rishis. It's a new thing coming. Hare Krishna, Gaur Hari Gaur. Aggaviva gunam doshan maya dhishtana pishakam dharman samtajya sarva. What to speak of the rishis? What God himself, he has by his own lips, he has given orders, this is your duty. And that is also being cancelled. And go, necessity of going up. Krishna himself, he has also given so many things in the name of religion, but there is gradation. Go further, go deeper. The development is there in theism. Oh, no, in many places it is mentioned. Anna padatta karana nishinishayana nana munu rasudhya khana bhavana nidra dvaiva hatatarapana rishayupi deva naitake iha samsaranti. Anna padatta karana nishinishayana nana manu rasudhya khana bhavana nidra dvaiva hatatarapana rishayupi deva Jushat Pasanga Vimukha Iha Samsaranti. Even those, the lords of rishis, munis, if they cannot understand your such loving service, the value, then they will have to go down. Such authority will also have to go down, so-called authorities. A very high level. Mahaprabhu has given. This Radha Govinda Lila combined. What he has given, that cannot be comparable. Not only on this Brahmanda, this history of solar system, but in the course of the history of crores of creation and dissolution, creation and dissolution. Such high thing. Theism, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Gaur Hari Gaur. No bhuto, no bhavishyati. What Mahaprabhu has given to us. One gentleman told that Sati, Savitri, Sita, Damayanti, and so many other Draupadi, and the high models of so many ladies, they were shining like stars in the history, in the Purana of the Vedic culture here. So long, they were shining a very with great splendor. But whenever Radharani had entered the arena, they all they had become pale. All the models, the ideals, they are cast shadow, covered with shadow, more or less. When Radharani entered with her intense love for Krishna. The whole creation, even including so many Shastra, Purana, Rishi culture, everything, by her dazzling personality, everything became pale. Gaur Hari Gaur, Gaur Hari Gaur, Gaur Hari. Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur. Dr. Dinesh Sen told like that. You have through the door of Brahma Vaivarta Puram, the character of Radha Rani entered into the Sahitya ki bole,
literature.
and into the world of literature, then all other ideals of the highest attainment of the ladies, of the chaste ladies, all became Veda. Mahaprabhu came with that. And so it is told that Mahaprabhu, Krishna and Radharani combined, Anatpita charing chirat karunaya bhakti. Not ever been given to the world. In the cyclic order of the creation dissolution, that was never given to the world. What Mahaprabhu has given. Dhanna Kali, this fortunate Kali Yuga. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Die to live. The death has also got its degree. The degree of death, the intensity of the degree of death, what Radharani showed for Krishna, no parallel ever conceived in the world. Such self-giving, self-offering, so intense self-surrendering is never to be thought out even by the scholars of the world, of the devotees. It is impossible. Hare Krishna, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur. And accordingly, all the groups of Krishna, the Sakhas, the Sarvitas, the Vatsalas, others, mothers, all the highest degree of sacrifice and the surrender to be found only in Krishna Lila, Swayam Bhagavan in Vrindavan. Otherwise, the greatest devotee, Buddha, it is coming from his own mouth of Krishna. The Brahma, the Shiva, the Sankarsana, Lokhi, and myself even, is not so superior as my favorite Uddhava. I consider him to be more favorite than my own body, Krishna says. And that Uddhava says, I want to be a creeper, a shrub in Vrindavan, that I may have the chance of the touch of the feet dust of these dancers of Bhajan. What is this? Can we think it out? It is impossible for us to think out what high degree of devotion and sacrifice can be present there. And this cannot be denied. I put it to a Madrasi Pandit, and he could not say anything in opposition. Pandit Bhagavat, and the whole Bhagavat in his mouth. He does not care to take any book. Whole Bhagavat is in his memory. That Pandit I met in Mambalam. But when I put this proof, he could not speak anything. So many appreciators, barristers, advocates, judges, followers, could not speak a single word. Quite positive, proof positive. Krishna himself says, Buddha, you are such a favorite devotee of mine. None is so. And that Uddhav says like this. And how to measure? By light year, when we are to measure the distance of the stars was very far off by light year. So here also light year, Brahma, Shiva, Sankarshan, Lakshmi, himself, Ruddha, and thereafter, the light year measurement. Gaur Hari Bol, 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 Gaur Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Nidai Gaur Hari Bol, Nidai Gaur Hari Bol. Nidai Gaur Hari Bol. Nidai Gaur Hari Bol, Nidai Gaur Hari Bol. Nidai Gaur Hari Bol.
Maharaj, you described the Chatursan, Chaturvyuha. Sorry, Chaturvyuha before.
Chaturbhuva.
Yes.
Chaturbhuva and the Chatushan is not one and same.
No, I'm sorry. So, Pradumna and Aniruddha and Shankarshan and Vasudev.
Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha.
So, in the material world,
Mool Chaturbhuva, Adi Chaturbhuva, and their extension. Mool Sankarshan in Dwaraka. Mool Adi Chaturbhuva. Chaturbhuva in Vaikuntha and Adi Chaturbhuva in Dwaraka. This Karunarno Sai, Garbhoda Sai, their extension. Now,
so with the extensions,
extension,
so
the
what,
delegation, what you may say, the particular type of function. They have got their particular type of function. And that sort of function, wherever is present, we have to trace the origin in that line.
so what part does Durga Devi play in the function of the mind, Buddhi, and these Padarthas?
Mind, body, and
The Karnadakshay Vishnu is an expansion of Shankarshan.
Karunarnava Sai, he has to deal with the whole of Prakriti. And the Garbhoda Sai, a particular part of Brahmanda, a part of Brahmanda, the whole dealt by just as DM and SDO, and the commissioner and the Rajyapal in this way. So whole, above the whole of the Prakriti movement, there is Karunarnava Sai. And at every Brahmanda there is Garbhoda Sai. And every soul within there is Kiroda Sai.
Pradumna and Aniruddha, their expansions are Garbhodakshay and Shirodakshay Vishnu. Their expansions,
Aniruddha Kiroda Sai, and the Pradyumna Garbhoda Sai, and the Sankarshan Karoda Sai, Karunarnava Sai, and Vasudev above all. Vasudev is higher, he is above, transcendental of the whole of Brahma conception. This Brahma, Karunarnava Sai, is also above the Brahma conception. But Brahma has direct concern with him, Tallinga Bhagavan Shambhu. That from Karunarnava Sai, the ray is coming to touch Prakriti, this energy, and that is Shiva. And the Karunarnava Sai at the background, and transcending all the electricity of the mic world, of the material world, there stands Vasudev, Parabrahma, Purushottam, Kharadupitoham, Okharadupitottama. He has got no concern with this material transaction, the Vasudev. And the Sankarshan, the first step down to connect with material conception as a whole, and the partial management by the Garbhodosai, and the individual case of Jiva is taken by the Khirodosai, Antarjami, Paramatma. In this way, their function can be, they are all one and the same, but according to their function we have to trace them in different way. ঈশ্বর তত্ত্বের হিদমান মানিলে হয় অপরাধ. The one power of government represented in so many figures, something.
Smaraj,
Yes.
the question is what function does Durga Devi play
Durga Devi.
with these three, with Pradumna, Aniruddha and Shankarshan, in this as expansions? What is her dealings?
Well, is the negative side. The negative side, that is in a representative government, in a democratic government, the parliament and also the king's side or Rashtrapati, something like that. Durga Devi, she is direct, her direct concern with this world of punishment, misguided soul, to train them the punishment. And there also the representation from above has been sent here to detect how the function is going on from the government above. Their representation has been put in the administration of Durga Devi to check how far it is going on in a system or whimsically, something like that. The representation of the above, and Durga Devi in general charge of the administration of punishment for the misguided souls. He is the empirical representative, and that is coming down from above to help the jiva, that they may not be mishandled. Something like that.
What is the difference between Subhadra Devi and Durga Devi?
What's
The
the
difference between Subhadra Devi and Durga Devi.
Subhadra Devi and Durga Devi? What is the reason of your asking this question? Where do you find any common between them?
Because
Subhadra Devi, she represents the Leela of Krishna. He is there. He is in Dwaraka. She has got no administrative function. Where is the room of misconception between the two?
Because Vishnu, when Vishnu told Yogamaya to descend,
Who is Yogamaya? Subhadra.
Subhadra,
Subhadra is not Yogamaya. A part may be played very hard, a function of Yogamaya. Subhadra has got no mundane function. She is there with Dwaraka Leela of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Gaur Hari Gaur.
So Maharaj,
Yes,
from Krishna, there's so many expansions are coming, like Chaturvyuha.
yes.
So from Radharani, could you explain how Durga Devi is a further expansion?
Durga Devi, this Yogamaya, Durga Devi is concerned with Yogamaya. And Yogamaya may be considered to be the comprehensive potency under Baladeva, who was entrusted with the charge of management and the arrangement to facilitate Krishna Leela there in Vrindavan. And the Durga Devi may be considered as Yogamaya's representation in this perverted world. Bhuvanani Durga, Chayeva Yasya Ki Vibhakti Bhuvanani Durga. She is in charge of this mundane world for management, for administration. And her extension in the positive world is Yogamaya. Yogamaya there in the transcendental world, she is making management necessary, and her facsimile, shadow, cast here in this mundane world. And here Durga Devi is in charge of management, something like that. So Durga Devi says, I am there in Chandi, I am Radha in Vrindavan. She is proud to trust that we are potency, and the potency should not be neglected by the person. We have got our extension up to Vrindavan, and there my class is represented even in the position of Radharani, the most favorite position in Vrindavan she holds. And she also belongs to my section, that is potency, the negative side. The negative side is extended up to the highest quarter. You should not ignore us. She is boasting like that. Angangi bhavamagyanta katham samorthaneta pusya titya matrena samudru vyakulikata. There is a saying in like Aesop's fable, this Indian Aesop's fable, this Panchatantra, that one small bird, like the sparrow, she put some egg in the banks of the ocean, and the ocean's waves washed it away. Then the parrot told, oh, you neglect me so much. I shall look after you. I shall see to punish you. And the ocean laughed away. But she sent a deputation to the higher bird, and from there to another higher, and from there it went to Gurur, the bird section. Gurur was the highest, holds the highest position of the whole this
Bird kingdom.
bird kingdom. So when it reached, Gurud came to touch the ocean. I shall drink you off. Why you have taken away the eggs of that sparrow? You beg forgiveness to her, or otherwise I shall drink you fully. Then Samudra, the ocean, came to beg forgiveness to the sparrow. Sangangi Bhavamakyatta Katana Sama. So Durga Devi here making boast that you don't neglect me, that I am Maya here. But my concern is there also, in the highest position. We are negative side. I am represented there in the highest favorite domain of Krishna. There I am Radha. Here I am favorite to Mahadev, and in my inner self there is, we hold the highest position there. That's something like that. When we are told in the Shastra such sort of statement, we have to harmonize in this way. That the negativity as whole, the potency as whole, differentiated from that of the predominating mighty and the predominated mighty. Shakti, Shaktiman. From effect to cause, and the cause to effect. We shall have to understand the point of adjustment. A religion is proper adjustment, a favorite word, expression of our Guru Maharaj. A religion in his last days, often he uttered this. Religion is proper adjustment. Sambandhagya. And that you automatically engage yourself in your duty. The Sambandhagyan, fully awake of your position in the universe. If you are fully awake, you cannot but discharge your own duty. Sambandhagyan. And if you can perfectly discharge your duty, the end, the uddesha, the consequence cannot but be in your fist. The prayojan tattva cannot but come you, will welcome you. A proper adjustment. Our real position, what is my real, ke ami kano mori jarata? Who am I? Who am I? Only flesh and blood, or only the mental system which I have got experience at the time of my dream, or as in told in Upanishad and Veda, in Gita, Indriyani parindriyabha parang mano manasastu para buddhi, buddhi atma mahan para, then Paramatma and other subjective world. How to find the adjustment? What am I? I am a member of this material side or something more. Transcending this material consideration, I have got my existence in the unassignable higher quarter of knowledge and love. The strata of knowledge and then that of love. Transcending knowledge, there is another higher plane of ecstasy, joy, and love, prema, this thing. Exploitation, renunciation, and dedication of the highest order, the surrender dedication. Where do you want to live? These are extended to us for our preference. You select where do you want to live and what plane. And this is not poetry or not even philosophy, but inner demand, sincere willingness, determined will. That's why, not a fashion or philosophy or luxury. Serious point. We have to decide for ourselves. Where do we want to live in what plane of life? The plane of a gunda, the plane of the patriot, so many planes of the scientific, the wire puller of this exploitationist. What plane I must seek and I must find out my life sincerely. Where do I select to be my home? Back to God, back to home. Where is my home? Self-determination. The problem of self-determination in our front. And we have to just sincerely to do justice to our own self. Not a luxurious attempt of putting others to their higher interest. First, I am concerned where I am to seek my position sincerely. Then the next question will be that I shall try others also to put in that position. Janma sarthak kori parupakar. Only hypocritically preaching that has got no higher benefit. But if under the guidance of a real guide, I begin my work, my hypocrisy also may vanish. That may be connected by my previous sukriti, independent of my voluntary thinking. It is possible. The sukriti has connected me with some higher guide, and gradually the hypocrisy, self-suiciding tendency that will vanish. Hypocrisy, that kapatata ki?
Capriciousness? Capriciousness? Capriciousness.
Capriciousness, kapatata.
Deceitful.
Self-deception. Self-deception tendency. Kapatata, hypocrisy. That will vanish. Sukriti may join me, my faith with a real guide. And all other defects will gradually vanish when I am in the process of purification by carrying out his order. It is possible. And as much as I will be sincere, my words will carry so much value and the others will be benefited by my words, my vibration will work in them. Janma sarthak kari, sadhu sangha, So it has been requested repeatedly in the Shastra, the sadhu sangha, select your association, select your guide. The association in general and the guide in particular, that is all important in our life. We are living in uncertain eternity, and we secure a certain position. We must strive hard. And the association and the guide, that can help us most in our campaign. We are lost in the eternity. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.